You're listening to Brandon Sports Talk, interviewing professional athletes and Paralympians and Olympians. And now for your professional athlete interview and your host, Brandon P.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege of interviewing the UC Merced's head women's basketball coach, Coach Kellie Bernard. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Thank you. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to get started in coaching in college women's basketball?
Yeah, well, I knew I wanted to stay in sports like a lot of athletes. Thinking about doing anything else just didn't seem quite as fun, right? And then I had a great coach when I was in college, my junior year, that was the first female head coach I had ever had, and really inspired me. Like, wait, I could do this. I could make money. This could be my profession. So, I knew a long time ago. It took me a little bit to get where I am now, yes, but I love it.
What was that collegiate experience like for you going to college and playing collegiate basketball?
Oh, it was awesome. I actually went a little further from home. I'm from Indiana, but I went out to Scranton, Pennsylvania. So it was a little further from home. Division three. I absolutely loved it because of the balance between you. I could be a student and an athlete at the same time. I had a great experience out there working hard with my teammates.
What was that experience like putting on that Clark uniform and representing it?
So Clark Summit University is a religious institution, so there was a lot that was behind it as well, right? You're representing a lot of things as well as obviously the institution I'm playing for. So I took a ton of pride in that. We talked all the time about the name on the front of your jersey versus the back and really representing the school every time we step on the floor. So a ton of pride and privilege to do that.
During your collegiate time, what were some of your biggest accomplishments as a player?
Yeah, so as a player, we made it to the championship game my senior year. Man, we did not show up. It was not a great championship game, but we made a great run. We found a lot of success on the court throughout the season, and I think for us, we took a program that my first year was super unsuccessful and just built it up into a powerhouse. And actually, I think it was 2 years ago they went to the national tournament for the first time. So it kind of feels like we got to be a part of setting that history to take them there.
Coming out of college, what was that experience like getting and started into coaching and coaching on a level first?
Yeah, so I took the roundabout way. So a lot of people will do GA work to get into coaching. I went to Central America where I played for a couple years, and I also taught at a bilingual school. So I got into my high school coaching there. And then when I was ready to come back, finish playing, come back to the States, I couldn't imagine doing anything else. And then that's when I started with Ohio Wesleyan. So it took me a few years to get there into the college realm, but man, I loved every step of it. And coaching high school is a ton of fun as well.
Going to Ohio Wesleyan, what was that experience like becoming an assistant coach?
I'm super thankful to Stacy, the head coach there. She gave me an opportunity where my resume was not great at that point. Like, yes, of course, I had the high school experience, but hadn't really stepped into that college role. So I'm super thankful for her and giving me that opportunity. And I learned so much. I'm not sure how much I offered. I helped with recruiting, but I just felt like I was constantly taking notes from Coach, and I really do think she is a big part of the coach I am today because I'm telling you notes of everything and how to be a great coach from her.
Going to Christian, what was that experience like being their assistant coach?
Um, Also super thankful, excuse me, Coach Brenda Baker. She gave me that next step, and I was able to do associate head coach work and interim coach while she had a child, and so really got thrown into the fire there and stepping into a role, and also learned a ton from her as well. And we got a chance to win a River State championship there, go to the national tournament, some stuff that um, I'm thankful to have been a part of, but definitely learned a ton from both the players and the coach at that position.
During that time when you were the interim head coach, what was that taste like getting that moment of being a head coach to help you prepare?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to let it go, right? So I love Coach Brenda, but it's really when I knew I wanted to move into the head coach role, right? Was having the opportunity to succeed, to fail, to run the practices, to help scheduling and all of that. I'm really thankful for the opportunity, but yeah, that's when I knew that this is really what I wanted to do full time. And so then, Coach Baker came back, led us to the championship. So, it's great we had her. And again, I learned so much from her, and I'm so thankful.
For you, what was that transition like going to mid and low?
Well, that transition not only took me to in NAI, but also across the country. So I went from Ohio Wesleyan, Ohio Christian, and then I moved to California. So that transition was so much. It was a great opportunity. They had more scholarships, great facilities, all that kind of stuff. But also, man, I'm moving to California and I'm in a totally different area. Had to make a whole bunch of new coaching connections. You start to get to know your AAU and high school coaches, and that just wiped clean. So I got a chance to meet a bunch of new coaches and really start to develop those relationships again.
For you as a coach, what was that transition like going across the country to a whole different side where you began your coaching journey?
Yeah, man, it was challenging, of course, just like moving as an athlete from Indiana to Pennsylvania and then moving to Central America. Like I've had a lot of moves in my life, so it didn't throw me off a ton, but it's challenging, right? You got to learn California basketball. I don't know if anybody's gonna tell you these things. The basketball is played totally different around the country, right? California basketball to when I was in Pennsylvania, I played with a lot of New York players, like I don't know, those that know will know, but just basketball is totally different too. So it was really fun. Again, a great opportunity, but it's challenging, right? To relocate yourself.
For you, what was that feeling like getting that head coaching job for the first time?
Yeah, I knew, like I said, back in college, this is where I wanted to be, that I wanted to be a coach. And really, again, Coach Brenda helped me build the confidence that I needed for this position. And also, giving me the recommendation and still getting advice from her, right? So the feeling of working really, really hard to get where I wanted to go, and we're still not done. I want to. We're transitioning Division 2. I want to win a championship, and so there's still a lot to go. But really getting that first opportunity and having people who believe in you as much as I felt like I believed in myself, and challenges as all these opportunities are, but absolutely wonderful.
Coming to UC Mercer, what was that feeling like stepping onto that court for the first time as head coach?
Yeah. So our first game, I don't know, man. You go through so many different games, but it definitely is a different feeling, right? So when they announce as the head coach and I'm looking down the line and I have assistant coaches and players that are looking up at me and I'm thinking about how I used to do that to other coaches and I'm like, wait a minute, it's on me now. So if I call the wrong play or do the wrong, I mean, it's on me. But again, just something that I have been so excited to do for such a big part of my life that it felt surreal, I guess is the best word to say.
For you, what was that feeling like building the coaching staff around you and the players around you?
Yeah, so Coach Jasmine is my assistant coach right now. She is, I feel like the exact opposite and the same as me at the same time, right? So we really have a great dynamic where she helps me in a lot of areas and being able to balance what the players need. So I couldn't have a better assistant coach. I'm super grateful for her. And then as you start to build the players, you're building into the program and the style and the system and everything that I want it to be. Get to bring a little bit of that Midwest basketball, that Northeast basketball into California. So you can see I still love the post game out here in California. You can see a little bit of that sneaking in there. So as I started to develop, I really got to find the players that fit me, fit the school. Um, we're super high academic school as well. So finding the really, really brilliant players that also are just absolute dogs on the court is an important thing for me.
For you as a head coach, what was that first win like for you?
Um, I almost feel like surreal. I know I'm using the same words, but it feels surreal. And it took me a little bit after the game to realize, wow, that's my first win as a head coach. Because when you're in the moment, you just want to win no matter what, right? You want to get that the dub, and then being able to celebrate with, the athletic director brought me the game ball, and I'm like, oh yeah, I did just win my first game as a head coach. Now I got a lot more to win, right? It's a lot more to go.
Can you talk about, of course, the culture that you've started to build for the basketball program?
Yeah, so I think for us, we talk about two things within our program. We want to be good teammates and people, right? We want to be good teammates to each other, and that means challenging each other. That means, we're not going to take it light with each other on the court. We're going to push each other, but also good teammates of, I will always say somebody's car breaks down, you should have 16 people that are going to help you out, right? We're there for each other. And just being good people, right? I'm proud as our players walk around campus, hold their head high as wonderful teammates and people. And then the other thing we talk about in our program is we want to be competitive, right? I don't want to lose at anything, whether it's a game of Uno, whether it's a basketball game. Like I hate to lose, and I want players that also hate to lose because I don't think either of those are things that you can teach. You can help develop a little bit. I can work with jump shots and all of that, but if you don't have that passion to just never lose, I can't teach that. So those are two really big things in our culture. I look for in players, but also just that's who we are as a team, right? Good teammates and people, and we hate to lose.
Who are some of the teams in your conference that you compete against?
Yeah, so we're actually in a transition period. We are coming from the Cowpack, so we played some teams, La Sierra, Westcliff, Embry-Riddle. We had some really tough NAIA teams, and now we're transitioning into the CCAA Division Two. So we're about to play Cal State Dominguez Hills. They actually just went to the national championship game, so they'll obviously be super tough. Um, Cal State LA, Monterey Bay. We're in a really cool transition, and we're going to play some really tough teams this year.
What is that like getting to play teams like Monterey Bay at home versus going away?
Um, so it's all up and down the state of California. Monterey Bay, away, it's a beach town, so that'll be actually pretty nice to go visit there and then maybe get some seafood on our way out. But we have a great home crowd, right? So we have about 10,000-ish students. So they really pack the arena. So home games feel like legit home games. We have the vibe and the energy and the crowd behind us, so it always feels great to play at home. But I'm really excited to go out and play some of these teams at their place as well.
What does that recruitment process look like for those prospective student athletes?
Yeah, so I feel like I know coaches do it a ton of different ways. I find athletes everywhere, right? Whether it's AAU, coaches' recommendations, occasionally players reaching out to me finding them at elite camps, all kinds of things, right? I find athletes in a lot of different ways. For us, the top priority is because we are a high academic school, you have to be able to get into our school. So we really prioritize student and athlete. That's a great part about being Division two is we can prioritize both. So you got to have the right grades, but again, I look for a specific style. If I like you, I think you're a great player, I'm going to ask your coach, I'm going to ask your teammates. Um, how do they feel? Would they rather win or do they hate to lose, right? Which is it? So I can find players in a lot of ways. There's a lot of great basketball players out there, especially in the state of California. There's a ton of great basketball players. So we need that extra, right? We need that competitive edge. We need that um, fire, right? Like I'm not gonna lose no matter what happens right now. I'm gonna die for the ball. I'm gonna do those extra steps. Again, we can teach you um, read and react. We can teach you just the basketball stuff, but you gotta have that passion and that fire to win.
What is that like recruiting in South Carolina? What is that like recruiting in the California area?
Yeah, California is massive, so I'm not sure how familiar you and your viewers are, but it's a really big state. So we have a ton of athletes and a ton of talent, and we're in the Central Valley, so it's really, really hot here. But there's great talent around here in Fresno and Sacramento, and then you go to the Bay Area with San Francisco. There's awesome talent there, and then we got all the way down to we have a player from Long Beach, right? So we can up and down the state of California. There's so much talent, and so again. We're not hurting for talent. We just have to find those right players that fit our system.
What does what does that feeling feel like as a head coach, getting to see those freshmen putting on that uniform for the first time representing the school?
Man, it's awesome. We're about to see a whole new group, right? So we just finished our 2025 recruiting class, and as they come in, and you've sold them the vision of what being a Bobcat is like. They come and they're figuring out classes, but then once we get to that first game, a couple months into it, and they are truly seeing the the work that they put in as a little kid all the way up until college, right? That they wanted to play college basketball and they really get a chance to see what that's like. And then especially playing for me and as a Bobcat, I take a lot of pride for them, right? I get really excited for them in that first opportunity. And um, usually it's tough for freshmen, so they're about to hit a little bit of a challenge, but I get really excited. And I had several freshmen this last year who were big pieces on our program, and just to see them develop and get that opportunity that their childhood self was just dreaming of. It's really cool.
How's that like getting to see those seniors putting on that uniform for the last time?
Oh man, that one hurts. That one hurts, right? Obviously, you get excited for the freshmen. You can envision the next 4 years, maybe 5 years, depending, right? Um, so you kind of like are looking towards the future, but the seniors, now you're looking back and all the time that, excuse me, they've put into that program. The good, the bad, right? The challenges, the hard practices, the fun road trips. And so it's, again, a lot of pride, right? That they worked really hard to get to that point, but also that sadness of man, they're about to head out, right? So I'm excited for them in that way, but it's definitely a different feeling. I get sad. I don't want to see any of them leave us, but we know they're on to their careers and they're on to, family and whatever else life has for them.
As a head coach, what is it like seeing those players going on and playing in the WNBA or getting into coaching?
Yeah, so I've had a couple players. I haven't had anyone play in the WNBA. I've had a couple players that have played in Europe or overseas. And I get pumped, right? Wherever you get to, as long as you can extend your career, do it, right? So that's a really cool feeling and pride and just seeing all their hard work. That's really cool. Getting into coaching is also a different level of excitement. I think that we need more women coaches, and whether it's getting into the youth coaching, AAU, high school, college, doesn't matter, but seeing them get an opportunity to now make that impact on the next generation, very, very cool. Hopefully they take some stuff I taught them, probably get rid of some stuff I taught them, whatever, but they're going on to make that impact hopefully in the future generation as well.
What are some of your future plans for the program moving forward?
Yeah, again, so we're in this transition period, right? We have a lot of really exciting things happening. And so as we transition into the Division 2 this next year, we are about to play, I believe, toughest conference in the nation, but a lot of national championships have come out of it, right? So we are about to really see what we're made of. I'm really excited about that. We preach a lot about mental toughness and really competing for everything, right? It's all earned. But then as we go into the long run, we really want to make that run for more championships. We got a championship this last year in the CalPAC. And we want to see that success move forward. UC Merced is really heading in an awesome direction.
What was that experience like for you getting that championship?
Um, Absolutely incredible. So I got a championship back with the River States at Ohio Christian, cutting down the nets. All of that was incredible. But now as a head coach, it feels the same and different all at the same time, right? And again, I go back to the players, to the assistant coach, to the staff, and seeing all the hard work that they've put in, the long hours away from my family, away from Coach Jazz and her family, and then you think of the players and the test outs and the hard work and the sprints, everything that we've put them through, and all the work that they've put in to get to that point, is an incredible feeling, right? You see them knocking down their free throws. One of our point guard got a block to seal the game at the end, and just seeing them be successful again with all the work that they put into, and that buzzer goes off and watching them run obviously together and dogpile for this champion. It was awesome, right? And so I think the biggest thing is seeing the work that we've put in really be worth something, right? Beyond just you work hard because you love the game, but yeah, we got to see the championship with it.
What advice would you give those incoming freshmen entering their first year?
Oh man, it's hard, right? Coming from high school to college, no matter where you played, bigger, faster, stronger. I'm sure you've heard coaches say this before, right? So spend your summer, work hard, right? Get ready for it. And then have a little grace and patience with yourself. You're not going to be perfect. I don't care how good you were in high school. I don't care what dreams your dad has for you or mom or whatever, but like give yourself a little bit of patience and grace. You're going to mess up. We don't mind mistakes on my team as long as you learn from them, right? Don't make the same mistake 20 times, right? But you make a mistake, you learn, you grow. It's going to be a part of life, right? So as you're coming in as a freshman, do not expect to be perfect. Do not expect everything's going to go your way. And the same attitude that you've had, I'm going to show them I'm ready for it. I'm going to work hard for it. Continue that and have fun, right? Have fun with it. Give yourself a little patience.
What advice would you give those college seniors transitioning into a senior leadership role?
The college seniors, like on their way out, I would say the exact same thing because it's all transition, right? You're not going to be perfect. Whether you're going into, I'm trying to think of our seniors right now, psychology degree and biology going into some further education. But regardless of what you do, you're never going to be perfect, right? You go into education. I've had a bunch of teachers. Um, you're never going to be perfect in it. Give yourself some grace, but you've worked hard for it, right? You've put in the work to get the job, or whether it is your grad school, right? To get the opportunity that you have, enjoy it, be proud of what you've done, give yourself some patience. You're gonna make mistakes, but just try not to make that same mistake over and over.
What advice would you give those players that have aspirations of playing in the WNBA or overseas?
Yeah, it can be done for sure. You got to work, right? So same transition that you have coming from high school to college, you're in the same thing. You go from top dog to everybody's bigger, faster, stronger. So you still have to continue to put in the work. You have to understand that um, that you got to earn every spot that you get. And I've seen a lot of my players. If you're going to go there, you got to be passionate about it, right? Putting in incredible amount of time, incredible amount of work. Um, they will. They already have. You're going to make mistakes, but then continuing to learn and to grow and to learn from the people that have been there and done that before you, right? But again, have some fun with it too, right? This is your childhood dream. So whether you're going into your freshman year, whether you're going into your career, whether you're going into like overseas WNBA, this is your childhood dream, hopefully, that you're about to get into. So enjoy it, love it, and hopefully bring the same passion that you had in your sport.
What advice would you give those future coaches looking to become head coaches on the college level?
You can do it, right? There's a lot of different paths. I have coaching friends who went straight from their playing career into GA and then took off with it at the Division 1 level. I've had coaches who waited a while before they even got into coaching. My route, where I just kind of stepped stoned all the way up to the high school. Get in, get involved, throw yourself into the work. It's always hard work, right? It's always a lot of effort. It's a little bit of who you know, so don't forget to make all the friends and connections along the way. But I fully believe we need more coaches, period, that are passionate about the sport, but we also need more women coaches that are in it, right? That are showing the future girls like there's a path for you. So my advice is it's never too late. So wherever you can get your feet, wherever you can get an opportunity, grind, work. It's a lot of hard work and long nights, but I love it. I don't think there's any other job out there for me.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you on social media along with the program at?
Yeah, so Instagram, it's UC Merced Women's Basketball, WBB. I think we have the Bobcats Instagram there. We do have a Twitter. I don't really get on there, so I'm not sure how active we are in the Twitter, but I know for sure our Instagram page is a great one to follow. Same thing for me, Coach K Bernard. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, all of that. So feel free to follow us. Hopefully you'll have a lot of exciting things to watch this year as we transition.
Thank you again, Coach Bernard, for your interview and best luck in your future as you begin.
Thank you so much.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again for your interview and best luck in your future.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.